This is the demo that we showed at our press conference a couple of days ago, but we're going to do it again for you here, and I'm going to go into some detail on the game. Before we start the demo, I wanted to very quickly kind of set the stage for what you're going to be seeing here today. Basically, this is a mission that's from the full game that takes place, I would say, a few hours after the game itself begins, and we're going to be following our main character, Jim, as he's given a mission to climb a mountain and repair a satellite relay at the top of the mountain. And the first thing we're going to see is a cinematic that sort of shows how Jim has acclimated himself into the environment.
And so it went. For weeks, then months, until the extraordinary became commonplace. Dealing with the cold and the wildlife became a new routine. Intense and surreal, but routine. I kept my sanity and wits by not thinking too deeply about what I was seeing and doing. I got lonesome sometimes out in the Badlands, but music and weekly messages from the missus kept me company. I was making great dough, getting choice contracts, and that was the point after all. I made friends with the crew. They were a right good sort, those guys. Even LaRoche, for all his bluster, had his moments. For better or worse, I became Braddock's go-to guy. It had its benefits. But sometimes being the one to get the call meant you ended up in some damn strange situations.
Damn strange situations indeed, and we're going to get the setup here for the mission.
We just lost contact with the communications relay at Shackleton's Peak. The dish was built on the highest summit in the area so that we could call home to Mama with minimal storm interference. It's our lifeline. 2 hours ago it went offline and we don't know why. We're effectively cut off from sending or receiving any off-world communications. I need you to check it out.
Okay, so we've gotten our mission objective, and we're following Jim now as he's going up the mountain. The first step is going to be to go through the Wasp Hive, and this is going to give us a chance to introduce one of our new enemies called the Fire Wasp. Now, the Fire Wasp is a flying enemy, and it has a ranged attack, and that means that it's going to try to flank you and attack in packs. And so we're going to use the cover system that we've showing for the first time here at Gamescom in order to sort of protect us against some of those projectile attacks. And now Jim has taken out the spawner that's going to allow us to go into the next area. This heads into the main portion of the hive, and in the hive here, of course, we've got more spawners that we're going to have to deal with, as well as more wasps. And we've got to get through this area in order to be able to get to the top of the mountain and achieve our objective. So, taking out the spawner there, that will prevent more acrid from spawning. Pulling out the shotgun for some close quarters action. Nice, powerful weapon there. Nice rolling and dodging. Taking out another one of the spawners. One of the things that we really like about this area here is it allows us to really show off the habitat of the acrid. One of the things that we've been doing with Lost Planet 3 is to show the acrid in their own ecosystem. They don't just exist as threats to the player. Jim is actually encroaching upon their habitat, and that they're fighting back in self-defense. Switching back to the shotgun for a little bit more close quarters action here, using our cover system to avoid some of those projectile attacks. Very nice. So now we're heading up the rest of the mountain. You can see a pan shot here that kind of shows where you would be traveling in the full game. For the purposes of the demo here, to keep things nice and tight, we're going to do a warp to the top of the mountain to show you some of the cool stuff that we have there at the top. Here we are near the top of the mountain. Once again, we've been sent here to fix this relay, and so now we are going to see just why this is malfunctioning in the first place.
What the hell?
Had a mysterious figure appear. This is also in our new Gamescom trailer. Apparently some sort of saboteur, and this is very puzzling for Jim, as we'll see in a moment as he radios back to base.
Cronus Actual, this is Peyton. Listen, I don't know how else to say this, but I think we might have a saboteur on the base.
Saboteur? Jim, no offense. You're not supposed to go stir-crazy until you've been here at least a year.
I'm serious, boss. Somebody was out here.
All right, Jim, I believe you. First things first. Head into the relay station, raise the satellite dish, and call up the tram.
So as you can see, Jim knows what he saw and doesn't doubt his own eyes, but his foreman, Braddock, is insisting that there couldn't possibly be anybody out here. And this is a hint to some of the story threads later in the game, where you're going to be confronted with mysteries about the true nature of the planet that Jim has been sent to. But for now, he's got a mission to fulfill, which is to fix this relay, and that's what we're going to try to do right now.
System malfunction.
I don't know why I'm surprised.
Got to go back out here. Now we can see the smaller satellite dish, which is actually just the transmitter array. And by flipping the switch here, we will be able to enable the entire array.
Power restored. Attention. Unlocking suspension lines and raising comm dish. Locked and ready for transmission.
And that is the extent of the full dish. That's what's used to communicate back with Earth. Now, at this level in the full game, actually one of the things that Jim has done as to repair a gondola system as he's gone up the mountain. And this gondola is actually used to carry the rig.
Rebooting system.
As many may recall, the rig is Jim's vehicle.
System online and ready.
Cronus Actual, you copy? We've got the satellite dish working. Just waiting for the rig to come up.
Someone's not too happy about having their beauty sleep disturbed here. So while Jim's waiting for the rig to be carried up this gondola, he's actually going to have to take this thing out on foot for now. This is a new enemy that we're showcasing here at Gamescom. It's called the Spitter. It's one of our Cat L large-size acrids. And as with all the acrids, the glowing orange spots, the cores, are the weak points. Now the Spitter will attack you, of course, with the giant tail attack, as well as the spit attack, where it gets its name. That venom will cause Jim to take damage and also be immobilized. You have to avoid that. Tail attack, avoiding that well. The goal, of course, is always to try to give the enemies as much impact as possible. But even when they're up close, you still got to target them and target that core.
Heavy cargo tram on approach. Prepare.
So it looks like the Spitter is going to lick its wounds, which is actually good for us because the rig has almost reached the top of the mountain. Now we're going to be able to jump in the rig and use it to take on the Spitter with something more of its own size. This is another great example of the dichotomy between the on-foot third-person shooting segments, and then when you get inside the rig, you're in first person. And this is another big part of our game.
You've got the rig. Use the claw arm to align the relay tower and re-establish contact between the comm dish and Coronis.
Another thing that we've announced here at Gamescom is the winch upgrade. This is an upgrade to the utility rig that allows the claw arm to be shot out. And for smaller enemies like the wasps, it's an instant kill. For larger enemies, you'll actually be able to grab onto them and reel them in. And so this is a great thing to have. It also serves functions in the environment as well. In fact, it can be used basically as a zip line to access different areas. Now the spitter has come back to finish the fight, and having the rig should make it a lot easier. So we've launched the winch, and now we're going to use that to bring it in. See if we can pull it in. We've almost got it, almost got it, almost got it. Not quite there. That's all right, though. We can grab the tail with the claw as well. Using the drill on the sweet spot. Coming in now to finish it off. Once the tail is gone, you can go in for the kill. That is quite satisfying. Busting it to pieces always helps too. Now the reason we needed the rig in the first place is so we could come over here and grab onto the dish, the transmitter dish, and align that. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. You got to grab on using the left stick to correlate with the left arm, and then, use the left trigger to grab on and use the left stick to rotate. Trying to keep the one-to-one input with the controller and what the rig actually does.
If there's any funny business afoot out there, I'd like to make sure she's all right. Do me a favor and check in on her before you head back.
And there you have it, our demo.